At 88, Jack Nicholson finally cracks the door open and speaks honestly about Robin Williams, and it hits harder than anyone expected. But before that truth, you have to understand where Jack came from, because his life started twisted from day one. Born John Joseph Nicholson on April 22, 1937, in Neptune City, New Jersey, he grew up believing a lie that would shake anyone to the core. For years, he thought his grandmother was his mother, and the woman he called his sister was actually his real mom. That secret didn't come out until much later, and when it did, it changed everything. Raised in a tough, working-class world, that early shock carved deep layers into Jack, shaping the intensity, darkness, and edge he later brought to the screen like nobody else ever could. Love Hollywood stories? Subscribe now so you don't miss any new videos. It's free and it really supports the channel. From a young age, Nicholson became locked in on performance and storytelling, and once that spark hit, there was no turning back. Acting wasn't a fantasy for him, it became an obsession. But Hollywood didn't roll out any red carpets, not even close. Jack started out as a gopher at MGM's cartoon studio, running errands and watching from the sidelines while others lived the dream he wanted. Those early years were rough and slow. He clawed his way forward, landing small acting gigs while struggling just to stay in the game. In the late 1950s, he appeared in low-budget B-movies, many backed by Roger Corman, grinding it out with no guarantees. The fame didn't come, but the lessons did. He sharpened his instincts, built his style, and learned how to survive an industry that only respects people who refuse to quit. Then, 1969 changed everything. Easy Rider exploded, and Jack's role as the wild, boozy lawyer George Hanson flipped his life overnight. That performance earned him his first Oscar nomination and shoved him straight into the spotlight. Suddenly, Hollywood couldn't ignore him anymore. The 1970s sealed the deal. In 5 easy pieces, he delivered a cold, restless performance that screamed inner chaos and quiet rage. Then came The Last Detail, where he mixed sharp humor with raw emotion in a way that felt painfully real. By then, Nicholson wasn't just acting anymore. He was taking over the screen, one unforgettable role at a time. His transformation into Randall McMurphy in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest in 1975 still stands as straight-up legendary. That role didn't just win Jack Nicholson his first Academy Award for Best Actor, it burned his name into film history. As the rebellious McMurphy clashing with the icy Nurse Ratched, Jack captured the anger, freedom, and raw nerve of the 1970s counterculture in a way nobody else could touch. Then the 1980s arrived, and Jack flipped the switch again. Stanley Kubrick's The Shining dropped in 1980, and Nicholson's descent into madness as Jack Torrance was flat-out terrifying and impossible to look away from. The line, "Here's Johnny," exploded into pop culture and never left. Decades later, people still quote it, proof of how deeply that performance dug into the public's mind. Just when audiences thought they had him figured out, he shocked everyone again. In terms of endearment in 1983, Nicholson showed a softer, warmer side, playing Garrett Breedlove, a charming retired astronaut. That role earned him another Academy Award and proved he wasn't just chaos and intensity, he could deliver heart with the same power. Then came 1989's Batman, and Jack's Joker changed the game completely. Sinister, playful, loud, and unpredictable, his performance didn't just entertain, it rewrote the rulebook for comic book villains. Actors who followed couldn't escape his shadow. The way Nicholson blended menace, charm, and dark humor into one unforgettable character showed exactly why his range was on another level entirely. By the 1990s and early 2000s, Jack Nicholson wasn't slowing down at all. He was tightening his grip on Hollywood. In A Few Good Men in 1992, his turn as Colonel Nathan R. Jessup gave cinema one of its coldest mic-drop moments ever. When he snapped, "You can't handle the truth," it wasn't just a line, it was a warning. The authority, the pressure, the raw control he brought to that role showed how easily he could own a room without even raising his voice. But Jack didn't stay in one lane. That same era saw him flipping tones like it was nothing. In Mars Attacks. In 1996, he leaned into wild satire, managing to scare people and crack them up at the same time. Then came Hoffa in 1992, where he disappeared into the role of Jimmy Hoffa, carrying the weight, ambition, and paranoia of a powerful labor leader. Films like Trouble in Maine pushed that even further, proving Jack thrived in layered, uneasy characters that lived in gray areas. Then, 1997 hit, and critics called it a late career glow-up. As Good as It Gets changed everything again. Playing Melvin Udall, a sharp-tongued, obsessive novelist, Nicholson blended brutal humor with unexpected softness. Starring opposite Helen Hunt, his performance slowly peeled back the armor, revealing vulnerability underneath all that attitude. The result? Another Academy Award for Best Actor, and another reminder that Jack still had tricks nobody saw coming. As the new millennium rolled in, Nicholson stayed dangerous. In 2002's About Schmidt, he stripped away the charm completely. As Warren Schmidt, a lonely, recently retired widower, he delivered a quiet, aching performance about isolation and regret. No swagger, no grin, just raw honesty. Even decades deep, Jack Nicholson proved he could still flip expectations and hit people right in the chest. Critics didn't miss it for a second. That performance was praised as one of the most quiet but powerful turns of Nicholson's entire career, proving he didn't need big speeches or wild moments to hit hard. He showed he could dominate subtle, deeply human stories just as easily as his loud, larger-than-life roles. Then, just 1 year later in 2003, Jack flipped the mood again and reminded everyone he still had comedy on lock. Teaming up with Adam Sandler in the box office hit Anger Management, Nicholson went full chaos as the off-the-wall therapist, Dr. Buddy Rydell. Wild-eyed, unpredictable, and hilarious, his energy carried the film and had audiences cracking up non-stop. It was another reminder that Jack could run any genre without breaking a sweat. But he wasn't done shaking things up. In 2006, Nicholson slid back into darkness, taking on the chilling role of Frank Costello, a ruthless Irish mob boss in Martin Scorsese's crime epic The Departed. Acting alongside Matt Damon and Leonardo DiCaprio, Jack didn't just hold his own. He stole scenes with cold menace and sharp unpredictability. His villain felt dangerous, real, and impossible to forget. That performance hit so hard, it earned him a Golden Globe nomination, once again proving why his name stayed at the top for decades. And then, just to keep people guessing, Nicholson turned around in 2007 and surprised audiences again. Co-starring with Morgan Freeman in The Bucket List, he showed a warmer, more reflective side, playing a wealthy but emotionally closed-off man staring down life's biggest questions with nothing left to hide. Edward Cole gave Nicholson space to dig deep into heavy themes like mortality, friendship, and redemption. And he didn't hold back for a second. He blended sharp wit with real emotional weight, creating a character that felt funny, painful, and honest all at once. The Bucket List struck a nerve with audiences everywhere, pushing a simple but powerful message about living fully while you still can. That film didn't just entertain, it stuck with people, and it locked Nicholson's legacy across generations in a way few actors ever manage. Off-screen, Jack Nicholson's personal life has always pulled just as much attention as his work. His first and only marriage was to actress Sandra Knight in 1962, back when he was still grinding and chasing his big break. Knight, known for roles like Frankenstein's daughter from 1958, shared a relationship filled with youthful ambition and Hollywood shine, but the pressure eventually cracked it. After 6 years together, they officially divorced in 1968. Even so, they shared a daughter, Jennifer Nicholson, born in 1963, who was mostly raised outside the spotlight. Jennifer later carved her own lane, choosing a creative path as a fashion designer instead of chasing fame. Nicholson stayed a committed and supportive father through it all. Though his marriage ended, that family bond never disappeared. Jack never married again, and instead became known for a long line of high-profile, often intense relationships that kept his personal life buzzing just as loudly as his legendary career. One of Jack Nicholson's earliest and most talked-about romances was with actress Susan Ansbach, whom he met in the early 1970s. Their connection was intense, messy, and very much a reflection of Jack's free-spirited, rule-breaking lifestyle at the time. The relationship didn't last, and later Ansbach publicly claimed that Nicholson was the father of her son, Caleb Goddard, born in 1970. Jack never publicly confirmed that claim, which sparked years of speculation and quiet tension, adding yet another layer of mystery to his already complicated personal life. But the relationship that truly defined Nicholson's love life was with actress Anjelica Huston, the daughter of legendary director John Huston. Their romance began in 1973 and ran on and off for nearly 17 years. Together, they became one of Hollywood's most iconic couples, admired for their talent, beauty, and undeniable chemistry. Behind the scenes, though, their bond was stormy and unpredictable. Huston later described Jack as magnetic, charming, and impossible to ignore, but also hard to hold on to. Their relationship survived countless highs and lows, but eventually collapsed under the weight of repeated betrayals. The breakup hit Huston hard, yet even after the pain, the two maintained mutual respect and lasting affection. She has spoken openly about how deeply Nicholson shaped her life, both creatively and emotionally. During the 1980s, Nicholson was also involved with Danish model Winnie Hallman. Their relationship stayed mostly out of the spotlight, but it carried lifelong significance. The two shared a daughter, Honey Hallman, who was raised primarily in Denmark with her mother, far from Hollywood's noise and pressure. Growing up outside Jack's chaotic world gave her privacy and normalcy, something Nicholson quietly respected, even as his own life stayed firmly under the public microscope. Even without a traditional family setup, Nicholson never dodged his role as a father. He openly accepted that responsibility and stayed connected with Honey throughout her life, even as his own world stayed loud and chaotic. That balance wasn't easy, but it mattered to him more than most people realized. By 1989, Nicholson stepped into another high-profile romance, this time with actress Rebecca Broussard, and this one hit different. Their relationship marked a calmer, more grounded chapter and became one of the longest and most committed partnerships of his life. For 5 years, they built something real, not just headlines. During that time, they welcomed 2 children, daughter Lorraine in 1990 and son Raymond in 1992. Unlike earlier chapters, Nicholson was visibly present as a father, often seen out with his kids, showing a softer side the public rarely got to witness. This wasn't just image, it was involvement. Lorraine later followed the creative path, stepping into acting with roles including Soul Surfer in 2011, while Raymond also grew up to become an actor, carrying forward the family's artistic streak. Even after Nicholson and Broussard ended their romantic relationship in 1994, they stayed locked in as co-parents. That commitment spoke volumes about the respect and care that still existed between them. As the 1990s rolled on, Nicholson's name once again buzzed through Hollywood circles, this time linked to actress Laura Flynn Boyle. Fresh off her rise from Twin Peaks, their brief relationship grabbed attention fast, mostly because of their noticeable age gap and Jack's long-standing playboy reputation. Even then, Nicholson stayed exactly who he was, complicated, charismatic, and forever impossible for Hollywood to ignore. Reports at the time said the romance burned hot, but didn't last long, wrapping up after only a few years. Still, it locked in Nicholson's image as a man who, even deep into middle age, stayed linked to glamorous women and remained a magnetic force in Hollywood's social orbit. No matter how much time passed, Jack never faded into the background. Now, at 88 years old, Nicholson has reached a rare place in life, one where reflection cuts deeper than ego. With decades behind him, he looks back on his career and friendships with a clarity that only time can sharpen. For years, he was Hollywood's ultimate wild card, sharp, witty, and impossible to predict, both on screen and off. But in a recent, unusually intimate moment, Nicholson opened up about his late friend Robin Williams in a way few had ever heard before. His words carried real weight, mixing admiration with unmistakable sadness. For fans of Williams, it felt like a private window into how one legend viewed another. Robin was like lightning in a bottle, Nicholson admitted, pausing carefully before continuing, as if choosing every word with purpose. You never knew what direction he'd go in, but you always knew it would be brilliant. That wasn't hype, it was respect. For Nicholson, a man known for intensity and razor-sharp control, Williams represented something rare, pure, creative freedom. Their paths crossed many times over the years, socially and professionally, and Jack remembered how Robin could flip the mood of an entire room the second he walked in. One presence, one spark, and everything changed instantly. He could flip a room from dead silence to tears of laughter in seconds, Nicholson said, and the weight behind it was unmistakable. I don't think the world will ever see that kind of raw magic again. But Jack didn't stop there. He made it clear that Robin Williams was never just the jokes or the noise. People saw Robin as this non-stop storm of comedy, Nicholson admitted, but he was one of the most thoughtful men I ever knew. He explained that Williams felt everything deeply, sometimes too deeply, and that emotional depth was both his power and his burden. In saying that, Nicholson pointed straight at the dual life Williams lived, spreading joy everywhere while quietly carrying his own pain. Nicholson confessed that what struck him most was a sensitivity others missed. There was a tenderness in him, Jack said, and you could see it in his eyes. Even when he had you laughing so hard your stomach hurt, that softness never left, no matter how wild the moment got. On the surface, the two men couldn't have been more different. Nicholson, with his sharp grin and intimidating screen presence, and Williams with his explosive energy and unstoppable improvisation. Yet beneath that contrast was a bond built on pure respect. Jack revealed that whenever they spent time together, it wasn't just laughs. He'd sit with you, look you straight in the eye and listen. Nicholson said quietly, Robin really listened, and that's rare in this business. He didn't care about Hollywood games or status. He cared about people. Nicholson also spoke about the pain of losing Williams in 2014, a loss that shook Hollywood and fans everywhere. When Robin left us, it felt like a light went out in the world, he reflected, his voice heavy. I remember hearing the news and just sitting there not believing it. It felt impossible that someone who gave that much life could just be gone, Nicholson admitted, and the disbelief still lingered in his voice. Williams' passing forced him to confront something uncomfortable, the fragility of even the brightest spirits. We think these people are larger than life, Jack said, but they're human just like the rest of us, and sometimes being human is the hardest thing. That truth hit harder than any headline ever could. Nicholson ended his reflections with words that made it clear how deeply Williams had mattered to him on a personal level. Robin had this generosity of spirit, he said quietly. He gave everything he had every single time, whether it was on stage, in a movie, or just talking to a friend. That kind of giving wasn't an act, it was who he was. That's what I'll always carry with me, Nicholson added. He wasn't just funny. Then came the pause. He was extraordinary. For Jack, speaking this openly wasn't about nostalgia or publicity. It was about honoring a man whose talent and humanity cut deeper than fame. Now, as Jack Nicholson sits in the twilight of his own legendary life and career, those memories remain sharp and alive. His reflections on Robin Williams stand as a reminder of the rare bond shared between Hollywood giants. And in finally telling the truth about his friend, Nicholson didn't just celebrate Williams' artistry. He revealed the lasting impact Robin had on the people who truly knew him.